Hejsa. It is time for the fourth installment in this slow stitching summer project. So this is what I was working on last week. Maybe you can tell that the color of my little hammock has changed. It's actually, the stripy one is on the inside now. And I was sort of gonna go with the stripy one and then have this as the inside, but then I thought no, I prefer the flowers. This is not 100% finished, I don't think. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do, but I have this idea that maybe here above the hammock I'm gonna write the word relax. I think that, yes, that was the prompt word for this panel. And I might use those Inktense watercolor pencils. I haven't got them on the table right now, so I guess I can't show you those. But it's okay that this is not finished. It is a slow stitching project after all. And although this one, I think that is completely done, but I might add some more to this one. And I'll definitely add more to this one. What that more is, I'm not 100% sure of. Yeah. Hopefully I'll figure it out soon. So if you don't know what this project is about, I would recommend that you watch the intro video and the first one, just to give you an idea of what's happening with this project. But it's a slow stitching project that we're working on over the summer. Just taking our time, adding one panel per week. But I'll link to those two videos and the rest of them if you want to check that out. And I should mention before I forget that there will be a 2-week break after this video because I'm going on an actual holiday, and hopefully I won't have any time for any stitching. I'll be having too much fun doing other stuff, and definitely wouldn't have time to make videos about the stitching if I did have time for the stitching. So anyway, there'll be a 2-week break, and then I'll be back with the 5th video on, what will that be, 2nd of August maybe? The first Friday in August, whatever date that is. So anyway, let's move on to the next panel. So I randomly started with this one. I could have started there or there, whatever. So I made the first 3, and now I'm going to work on the 4th one, and that means flipping over my fabric thing here, because the outer edges on the long side is down and the middle is up. That's just how this project works. So this week the prompt word is travel, and I have made my mind map here. Don't know if you can read it. So I've got travel, I've got Denmark, because obviously a lot of time my travels do go to Denmark, since that's where I'm from. And Italy, because that's a place I love visiting. And we have trains, planes and automobiles, road trip. And then history, monuments, art, museum, geography. And what is travel without souvenirs? So unlike my mom, who has a very large collection of magnets from various places around the world. I don't. I try to pick up books, especially cookbooks, or maybe music, either buying a CD or just making a note of the music that I listen to from like radio stations or whatever when I'm traveling. Right, and then I have anticipation, but also stress. I feel like preparing for a trip, and also the actual traveling to the destination can be a bit stressful. So I'm definitely not one of those people who almost prefer the traveling bit compared to being in the place that I'm traveling to. And then I've got visiting new places, preparing visits. I guess that's also kind of the anticipation. But preparing visits, I look at maps and read books, find places to eat. And if I had my way, whenever we go somewhere, I would love to plan everything to the minute, but my husband disagrees with that, which is probably a good thing. Right, and the last thing is packing, backpack, suitcase. So that's just the things that I've come up with, and then I've written my little... Oh, actually I haven't. I thought I'd prepared this bit. I guess we'll have to do that now. Okay, so now I'm gonna try and use this, well, all of it really, to make something. So let's put that there so I can see it. Okay. I really don't know where I'm going with this. What I was thinking before I even sat down to do this is that since my upcoming holiday will include a ferry ride, actually 2 ferry rides, and I happened to find this little scrap of fabric. I don't know, I might cut this out and include that. I think this bear in his boat is so super cute. It's from, I can't remember if it was a children's pillowcase or something I picked up in a charity shop at one point. So maybe I'll just start by roughly cutting this out, and then we'll see what I can come up with. Right now I'm not feeling super inspired by really any of my mind map words or the combination with the senses. So maybe this one would be a bit different from the other ones. I don't know. What do you want to do, little bear? Or maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. Maybe if I leave this here in the center and then I use the Inktense pencils dipped in water, because then once they dry they should be waterproof, and then I could just write all the way around, maybe just using the words from the mind map, and then maybe I'll add some stitching as well. I don't know. I think what I'll just do here, I'm just going to make a little mock-up before I start doing anything. I think that's about the right size, something like that. And then I can add the little bear in the middle. All right. So then if I start with travel, because that's my prompt word. Maybe it would be fun to, instead of having sort of dividers between the words, I just write them all with the same color, and then I add some stitching on top in different colors just to make them stand out a bit. That could work. I think maybe that's what I'll do, because it's totally fine that, I mean, these up here, they sort of are sort of like they're similar, but I think it's okay if they aren't similar. This one can be different. I think I'll just trim this a little bit. No, that's a bit wonky. Never mind. Yes, I think that's the plan. So the little bear in a boat goes in the middle, and then there'll be some words around it with some stitching, and that's it. And it'll be nice to do some plain stitching on the words, just like straight stitches and back stitch, or maybe I'll couch it or whatever. Just keep it simple so that I don't have to worry about using any fancy stitches. Or I could if I feel like it. So I know there's not a lot to see from this one, but I hope next week, well, oh no, it won't be next week. It'll be, well, in 3 weeks' time. be back to show you what this one looks like. Do you like this bear? I like his little face. Alright, so I will get to work on this panel, and I'll show you in 3 weeks when we're back with the next video in the series. I hope you join along with this slow stitching summer project. And if you're only just starting, you should be able to sort of kind of catch up if you want to when we carry on with the next panel, so panel number 5. So I hope you have a great day and great couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and happy stitching.